Castano says Tszyu's not ready for Jermell Charlo. Let's talk.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Well, boxing scene. The link will be in the description. Wow. Interesting to see what the reaction is going to be to this. Castano says Tszyu is a great fighter, but he's probably not ready for Jermell Charlo. First of all, that term great, it's just thrown around like pillow talk. Y'all smashing and you say, oh, I love you. No. It's just pillow talk. Where the ring at? Tszyu is not a great fighter. He's okay. I mean, but Castano just doesn't think he's ready for Jermell Charlo, and I agree. But let's get to the article. Brian Castano has spent his past 22 rounds trying to beat Jermell Charlo. The well-informed former WBO junior middleweight champion would advise an ambitious Tszyu to gain some more experience before the unbeaten Australian contender attempts to achieve what Castano couldn't accomplish against the fully unified 154-pound champion. Castano indicated during a post-fight press conference following his 10th round knockout defeat to Jermell Charlo on Saturday night that Tszyu is probably not ready. He's not properly prepared for that type of difficult fight. He's a great fighter, he says, but he's probably a little not ready for Jermell Charlo, Castano said. He should face another opponent before that. Even though he looked great when he beat Terrell Gosha, sorry, that was his last fight. Is that his last fight where he got dropped in the first round and Terrell took his foot off the gas? That the guy? Whatever. But this is a business. So I know he was looking to fight me. So if I'm offered to fight him in the US and it makes sense, this is business and I will take it. You notice he said, so if I'm offered to fight him in the US, wow. If I'm offered to fight him in the US, well, he didn't say, well, come to Argentina. I don't know what the boxing numbers are over there. I don't know. And I'm sure he celebrated. I'm sure he'll come home and regardless of his loss, the fact that he went as far as he did, I'm sure he could sell out an arena in Argentina, but I don't know if that's a boxing country, although they have fans that support their athletes. I know Tszyu is a star in Australia because he's done some good things, and his father's Tszyu, the legendary Tszyu. But I'm wondering why Brian Castano is saying, if I'm offered to fight with him in the U.S. and it makes sense, this is business and I will take it. He's not saying he'll go to Australia. I heard that Tszyu is a pretty good draw in Australia. So what are we talking about? You don't want to go over there? Wouldn't the bread be big over there? Huh? I don't understand. That's what logic would say. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, family, if you haven't figured it out. I'm going to take it somewhere else real brief. He says, so I'm offered to fight. If I'm offered to fight him in the U.S., and it makes sense, not Australia. Where does Devin Haney have to go to fight Cambozo? Devin has to go over there to make that fight. Castano is not even thinking about going over there to make that fight. And he lost his last fight. Come on now. More on that later. Back to the article. The 27-year-old Tszyu is the mandatory challenger for the WBO belt. Charlo won from Castano in the Fantastic Fight of the Year candidate that Showtime televised. Tszyu stepped aside to help allow an immediate rematch between Houston's Charlo. They had to draw, and Tszyu stepped aside. Okay, he agreed to step aside. But if he had gotten away and fought Castano and rather than Undisputed, I don't think that would have been a popular. Put it like this: Charlo's the draw of a Castano, and although they fought to a draw, the first time they fought to a draw, I don't think Castano had enough momentum to sell enough seats. It wouldn't have been wise business for the WBO, for Top Rank. You know, WBO, whatever Bob orders. I don't think that would have been wise for him to step aside. It wouldn't have made him any money. You understand? So business told him to step aside. And now he's in a better position because he was saying, you know what? I step aside. The winner, I'll get. Because I'll be the mandatory. Does that make sense? Why fight the winner? Well, they fought to a draw. But why fight Castano for one belt and then have a hard fight there and then turn around and say, hey, look, Jermell, now we can fight for Undisputed when he could just sit back and wait. And when the dust settles, somebody's going to be Undisputed and I could just fight not only for the WBO, but I could get the fight for all the marbles. Man, that was just smart business. I keep calling him Costa. That was just smart business, Tim. That was strategic. And then you picked Terrell, who took his foot off the gas. He dropped you in the first round. You didn't really look impressive in that fight. After the fight, everyone says, yo, you don't beat Castano or Jermell. But see, what's important now is that you get your opportunity. Because, hey, man, it's boxing, and you always have a puncher's chance. So don't act like you did everyone a big favor. You did Castano and Jermell a favor by stepping aside. You didn't do anyone any favor. You said, it's good business for me to stay busy against a no-name fighter, fighting the American public. Maybe I could look outstanding and turn some heads, which you didn't. But why fight for one belt when I can fight for four? And that's what you did, man. So cut it out, man. You're not fooling me. So Terrell, it says right here, knocked down Tszyu in the first round in his recent belt. Yeah, that is the dude. But Tszyu got up and defeated. He defeated him in unanimous decision. If y'all go back and watch that fight, I wonder what happened to Terrell after he knocked him down. It's like he said, sorry, I'll just sit here and be a punching bag. Suspect all around him. Tszyu, the son of legendary 140-pound champion Tszyu, sat ringside Saturday night to watch closely contested title unification fight between Charlo and Castano. So he was there. He was scouting for his son. And I'm willing to bet when he left, he said, Tim, I don't think so. Tim, no, I don't think so. So Charlo already has an overdue defense of his IBF belt against Russia's Bakram Murtalaviv, whatever this guy's name is. He's undefeated, 15 knockouts, 20 wins. And then you got Sebastian Fundora, WBC's mandatory challenger. So, look, the link will be in the description. Link will be in the description. All right. It's like they got Charlo's next 3 or 4 fights all lined up. But I said this yesterday and I'll say it again. They got Charlo's life all lined up. What he should do. And if he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, he's ducking and we're going to talk. They're ready to talk bad about him, man. But I want you to remember something. I'm going to break the Canelo glass right now. Did they hold Canelo to any of these standards? While they're telling Charlo basically what he should do and all of these mandatories he has, while they're telling him that, when it was time for Canelo to do what he was supposed to do, I read more excuses for him not to do it. Hey, you supposed to fight Charlo. Jermell's older brother. Well, not older brother. They're fucking twins. But the big Charlo, the 160. I say older. Y'all know what I meant. Big Charlo, 160. It was time for you to do that. What happened? Franchise. Most people were like, yo, what is this? But the fanboys said, hey, man, I agree with it. What has Charlo done? Remember that? Whenever it came time for Canelo to do something, Boo Boo Andrade, a rematch with Lara, Jermell Charlo, right? There was always an excuse for him not to do what was right. So at this point, I trust Jermell will do something. He'll pick somebody. But they're giving him 30 days. You got to make a decision. And all right, fine. How about this? If he fights Tszyu, that fight's not going past 5 or 6 rounds, man. All right? It's not going back. But you'll get your shot at undisputed. Just to say you did it. You're not ready. You're not ready. But go on and jump in that traffic, Frogger. But I want y'all to pay attention to the media. I want y'all to pay attention to everybody that's lined up. Bakram, Fundora, Tszyu. All of these things, they are demanding of him. I'm looking at the writing. I'm watching how it's written. Now, watch this, y'all. What if Mauricio Suleiman, which he'll never do, goes to Jermell and say, hey, franchise. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't do that because you have to request a franchise status. You know what? What if Jermell said, you know what? Hey, Mauricio, I'm undisputed, but you know what? Let me get one of those franchises. I want to move up and down in weight. And I don't care about this WBO belt. I already won it. I don't care. I'll relinquish it. I'll give it right to Tszyu. He can have it. If he took the WBC franchise and just went and fought a lesser guy just to stay busy, and he fights in Texas, just a homecoming, he wants some light work, they're gonna deem Sebastian Fundora as a god, and everyone's gonna be saying he ducked Fundora. Because everyone's still confused. Do you have to request the franchise status? Or is it given to you? I don't know. You have to sit Vasily Lomachenko in the room with Mauricio Sillyman and see who's lying. But salute to Jermell Charlo and Castano. Hey, man, see if Tszyu wants some fight in America. Tszyu, you don't even beat Castano. That'll be a good fight. Because I'm not mad at Mel if he says, hey, man, I'm fighting Sebastian Fundora next. What are you going to do, Tszyu? Say, give me my belt? What if they strip him? You going to take it? You know what you're going to say? You know what I'm going to say? If they strip him and take it and give it to you or for whatever reason, if you end up with it, I will always say you never beat him for it. And he ain't duck you because you don't fight Sebastian Fundora and say you ducked Tszyu. So, Tim, what you need to do is fight Brian Castano. Show me you're real. Bronx on deck. Move!